Y News with Angelo Castro III and Darlene Basingan.
Good evening. John Paul Solano, the primary suspect in the death of hazing victim Horacio Castillo III, voluntarily surrenders to Senator Panfilo Lacson. Victor Cosari will tell us why.
In an effort to clear his name, John Paul Solano went to the office of Senator Panfilo Lacson to surrender. Solano insists that he has no involvement in the death of UST law student Horacio Castillo III. The suspect says his participation in the incident was when he gave medical assistance to the victim. Solano notes that as a medical health provider, his colleagues at the Aegis Juris fraternity called him when they were in chaos and in need of medical assistance. He says Castillo was already half dead when he arrived at the scene. He also tried to perform a CPR on the victim, but when he can no longer resuscitate the UST law student, Solano says he decided to bring him to the hospital. However, in the initial statement he gave to the police, Solano says he just found the body of Castillo in a street and brought it to the Chinese General Hospital. He also apologized to the family of Castillo for giving false statement about the death of their son and that he would release a statement in connection to the matter. After seeing Senator Lacson, Solano was brought to the headquarters of the Manila Police District or MPD at around 4 in the afternoon today. Upon his arrival at the MPD headquarters, he was brought to the homicide section where he had undergone medical checkup and booking procedure.
We are initially preparing yung kasong ipapile kay Mr. John Paul Solano, yung kanyang malicious pagbibigay ng statement or false statement sa Manila Police District. At upon verification of all those statements that he gave to the Manila Police District, after validating it, we confirmed that all those statements na ibinigay niya po sa amin were false statement. Kaya we will be filing a perjury case against him.
Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
2 witnesses in the death of UST law student Horacio Castillo III have already coordinated with the Department of Justice. Meanwhile, Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre has offered protection to all witnesses in the hazing incident. Roderick Mendoza will tell us why.
2 witnesses have coordinated with the DOJ to give information on the death of UST law student Horacio Castillo III in an alleged hazing incident. Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre declined to name the witnesses, one of which is a member of the Aegis Juris fraternity.
Hindi pa rin nagpapailalim sa witness protection program namin sapagkat natatakot po sila at mayroon daw banta sa kanilang buhay.
Aguirre says the witnesses have matching stories. The non-fraternity member personally went to the DOJ to cooperate in the investigation. He allegedly witnessed the initiation rites of Castillo and other previous neophytes.
Meron din siyang alam ng prior initiation rite na involving more than 6 fraternity members na ngayon po ay ino-hold na ang sabi sa amin ng mga senior members ng fraternity at ayaw silang palabasin, ayaw silang pagsalitain at ini-invoke na yung kanilang code of silence.
The other witness, who is a fraternity member, says the victim was ganged up on because he was a lone recruit.
Well, talagang sinasabi nila na nagsosolo lamang yan. Kaya talagang, ayun, sinabi niya, porque nagsosolo lang siya talagang napagdiskatahan nung initiation rites yung para sa kanya.
Secretary Aguirre has offered protection under the Witness Protection Program to all other witnesses or persons who had knowledge of the incident. DOJ also launched a hotline for those who are willing to cooperate with the investigation.
Kapagkat dito po, kung halimbawa na kayong mauna at kayong maunang mabigyan ng protection ng or coverage ng Witness Protection Program, ay kayo po ang bibigyan ng priority kapagkat hindi naman po kinakailangan ng maraming testigo.
Aguirre maintains the witnesses have nothing to fear from the government because they will protect them. He adds the witnesses should fear more the ones hiding them or the ones telling them not to come out because they can be dangerous people with hidden agenda. Roderick Mendoza, UNTV, News and Rescue, Manila.
However, the Manila Police District insists it was John Paul Solano who was captured in the CCTV footage walking with hazing victim Horacio Castillo III. Here's why from Joanano.
A UST marketing student who resembles the physical features of the primary suspect in the Castillo hazing case, John Paul Solano, arrived at the Manila Police District or MPD at around 12 in the afternoon today. Accompanying the student was his lawyer, who claims he was the individual captured on CCTV in Dapitan Street outside the campus of the University of Santo Tomas. However, he refused to answer questions from the media and stayed at the MPD headquarters for 10 minutes only. The MPD meanwhile says the unnamed student has come forward as he is worried about his security.
Wala po silang dapat ipangamba dahil the Manila Police District is very sure that the subject of the manhunt operation is only yung pinangalanan naming suspect, Mr. John Paul Solano, Mr. Antonio Tranja, and Mr. Ralph Tranja.
However, the MPD insists that it was Solano who was captured on the CCTV footage, further noting it came from a reliable source.
We are very cautious sa mga ipe-present namin sa inyo, and just like what I've said before, what we are presenting are coming from verified, reliable sources. If somebody wants to dispute the video that we presented, of course, these are the rights.
Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The parents of Horacio Castillo III strongly disagree on placing John Paul Solano under the government's Witness Protection Program. Aiko Miguel is in Makati City to tell us why, live. Yes, Aiko, go ahead.
Yes, Darlene, good evening. The parents of Horacio Castillo III or Atio strongly disagrees to make John Paul Solano as a state witness because they believe he had a huge participation in the death of their son. This morning, John Paul Solano retracted his original statement. Solano admitted this afternoon that Atio was still alive when he found the victim and even tried to revive him. Atio's parents also appealed to the parents of other suspects to surrender their children to shed light to the crime.
As a parent, I know masakit. Lalo na if ang kanilang anak talaga involved also. Pero somehow mas madali siguro if the parents ilabas na nila yung mga anak nila, so para they would come out clean dito po, and hindi nila itago din kasi parang crime na rin po yun, kung alam nyo and itatago nyo pa rin.
Meanwhile, among the personalities who visited Atio's wake here in Makati City were Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri and VACC Chair Dante Jimenez. They signified their intention to help protect the family of Castillo or Horacio Castillo. This after the parents of Horacio admitted that alleged spies were seen roaming around their area. Thus, they suspect that these spies are eavesdropping to find out the next action of the Castillo family against the Aegis Juris Fraternity. Darlene, Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre was here earlier and he assures the family that the Department of Justice will stand by them until Atio and his family be given justice. He also emphasizes that protection of those involved in the death of Atio is tantamount to obstruction of justice and the harbor of criminals is a violation to the law. And that is the latest live. Back to you, Darlene.
Thank you, Aiko Miguel, reporting live from Makati City. 300 policemen from 3 cities in the Camanava area were transferred to Caloocan City. Monokson tells us why.
To fill in the vacant positions left by the relieved cops who are facing various controversies, a total of 300 policemen from the cities of Malabon, Navotas, and Valenzuela are reassigned to Caloocan City. A send-off ceremony was held earlier at the Northern Police District or NPD headquarters for their deployment. The cops will be stationed at 7 precincts in Caloocan City. 295 policemen of Caloocan were relieved and will undergo retraining at Camp Bagundiwa. The chief of the NPD says the vacant positions in the police offices of the cities of Malabon, Navotas, and Valenzuela will be filled in by cops from Camp Bagundiwa.
Inaantay lang natin yung augmentation or yung mga marireassign coming from Bikutan. Ano na yun, in the works na yung reassignment nila rito.
Other policemen of the Caloocan City Police Office are also set to be relieved and will be replaced by cops from the District Safety Battalion. MPSO advises the newly reassigned policemen to perform their duties well and to do the proper procedure in conducting police operations. He notes doing so will help improve the image of the Caloocan City Police, which has been tainted by the controversy several Caloocan cops got themselves into.
You are part of what we're trying to gain here, which is rebuilding the glory ng Caloocan City Police Station.
Mon Hocson, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
President Rodrigo Duterte promises to lift martial law as soon as clashes in Marawi City ends. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
For the fifth time, President Rodrigo Duterte visited Marawi City yesterday. He talked to the soldiers battling the terrorists and ensured the government's full support to them. In line with this, the chief executive also said he will immediately lift martial law in Mindanao when the crisis and clearing operations ends in Marawi City.
Yes, when it's safe. The catchword is when it is safe. Here in Mindanao, there is no pulling of spillage of men, and as long as it remains manageable and the police can take care of it.
He will also order immediate start of rehabilitation efforts once it is safe to enter the battle zone. President Duterte also said there will be no celebration whatsoever after the total liberation of Marawi.
Pagkatapos ito, you just go out of Marawi silently. Wala tayong celebration. Hindi natin ipakita sa mga kababayan natin mga Maraw. Kasi hindi naman tayo naliligayahan. Ayaw natin pumatay. Ayaw natin silang galawin.
It was on May 23, 2017 when President Duterte placed the entire Mindanao region under martial law because of the mounted terrorist group siege in Marawi City. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Cabinet Secretary Leoncio Evasco Jr. admits he agrees with the communist rebels when it comes to issues on the peace process. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
Ano po ba yung dahilan ninyo primarily dati? Ba't kayo nagrebelde?
Well, it's something to do with our own outlook in life. That the church, that the state should always be focused to helping the poor people.
Nangyayari ho ba ngayon yun?
Hindi.
So magre-rebelde pa rin kayo kung sakali?
Of course, I'm still a rebel.
Bakit nasa gobyerno kayo?
I would want
to be a rebel again?
To contribute to what I think could be done to our people.
This was what Cabinet Secretary Leoncio Jun Evasco Jr. revealed today in program Get It Straight with Daniel Razon. Evasco has a hand on 12 government agencies as member of their boards and councils despite his admission of being a rebel. Evasco says what the communist rebels are doing is right, and it is a challenge for the president to balance the situation.
If it comes from somebody like you who is now working with the government, na sinasabi ninyo na they still have the reason to rebel against the government, di ba, the more na parang masasabi ninyo ngayon, tama lang ginagawa ng mga nagre-rebelde, ganun ba?
Tama naman talaga eh. Kaya it is a pressure also on whoever is sitting at Malacanang to really look into the complaints of these people.
The Cabinet Secretary stresses that if the CPP, NPA, NDF, and the government panel will not listen to President Duterte, peace talk will end up in vain.
If its group will insist in what they think is right without looking into what is right as claimed by the other side, walang mangyari.
Like the president, Evasco is also hoping for a change. But there are distractions that prolong the achievement of this endeavor, like the Commission on Audit's procedure on procurement for government's project.
People down will always tell you that hindi natin pwede ito i-shortcut natin dahil mayroong mga batas, mayroong mga guidelines and policies that will have also to safeguard that money. That money should always be spent with accountability.
Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA, will set up built-in offices at the Bureau of Customs. Here's why from Rajela Dora.
The recent congressional inquiry on the 6.4 billion peso shabu shipment seized in Valenzuela City reveals a problem on the coordination between the Bureau of Customs, or BOC, and Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA. To address this, the PDEA will set up built-in offices at the BOC to ensure faster coordination between the two government agencies. The former NCR director of PDEA and current chief of the Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service notes it will ensure that the two agencies can closely coordinate with each other in terms of intercepting illegal drug shipments.
Yung matagal na nating minimithi na Seaport Interdiction Unit na talaga hirap na hirap tayong pumasok sa bakuran ng Bureau of Customs, we will give you a room for you to work on so that hindi na kailangan tumawag pa ng PDEA on every anti-drug operation. Naka-built-in na ang PDEA sa loob ng Bureau of Customs.
It will be actually an interagency. Magtutulong-tulong kami para finally mahinto na yung importation ng drugs sa Bureau of Customs. There will be a permanent office inside the major ports.
Villanueva previously noted that the confiscation of more than 600 kilograms of shabu only proves that illegal drug shipments get into the country through ports. Meanwhile, Villanueva formally turns over the leadership of the PDEA National Capital Region to former PDEA Region 3 Chief Ismael Fajardo. Fajardo says he will continue to implement the existing reforms in the agency to further prevent the proliferation of illegal drugs.
Giving rewards or informant, it boosts their morale and encourage them to work double or triple. Rest assured that I will deliver ourselves to the best of my knowledge and ability.
Rajela Dora, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Next on Y News. Senator Antonio Trillanes IV files criminal and administrative complaints against PCOO Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson.
And Malacanang defends presidential partner Hanilet Avanceña's presence in the UN General Assembly.
Y News will be right back.
Senator Antonio Trillanes IV files administrative and criminal complaints against Presidential Communication Operations Office Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson before the Office of the Ombudsman. Here's why from Nel Maribohok.
Senator Antonio Trillanes IV has charged Presidential Communications Operations Office Assistant Secretary Esther Marcos Justiniano Uson, or popularly known as Mocha Uson, before the Office of the Ombudsman 6 counts of criminal complaints. The complaints stem from the alleged fake news Uson posted on her social media account about the alleged bank account numbers and hidden wealth of Trillanes outside of the country.
Tatlo rito ay for the cybercrime offense of libel. Isa rito for violation ng Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act for using her position as to cause undue harm to another party.
The senator filed the complaints 3 days after he went to Singapore to personally prove that he has no offshore or hidden account in the said country. Trillanes says he will use as evidence the information he got from DBS Bank that states the bank account number posted by Uson on her social media is non-existent.
So parehas yung sinasabi ni Mr. Duterte na inimbento niya at pati yung sinasabi niyang totoong account, parehas yun, wala. So yun yung ating ebidensya laban sa kanila. The era of fake news is over. Lahat ng mga magkakalat ng fake news ngayon ay mananagot sa ating batas.
Aside from this, the senator also filed an administrative complaint against the former starlet. He also asked the ombudsman to oust Uson from her post for committing grave misconduct following her violation of the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards of Public Officials and Employees. Malacanang, on the other hand, has this to say.
Well, he's free to do so.
Trillanes is also studying the possibility of filing complaints against other personalities he claims are also involved in the issue. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Senator Gregorio Honasan refuses to enter a plea in the graft charges filed against him before the Sandigan Bayan. Here's why from Joan Nano.
Senator Gringo Honasan is facing 2 counts of graft in connection with his allegedly anomalous use of his Priority Development Assistance Fund or PDAF. In the arraignment of his case before the Sandigan Bayan 2nd Division earlier today, the senator refuses to enter a plea, prompting the magistrates to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. His refusal to enter a plea is based on the advice of his lawyer, attorney Dennis Manalo.
It's in the hands of the lawyer, my counsel. It's in the courts.
In 2012, the senator was accused of using his PDAF to fund a livelihood project for Muslim Filipinos in Metro Manila and Zambales through the implementing agency, the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos or NCMF. Honasan was the one who allegedly endorsed the Focus Development Goals Foundation Incorporated as the partner non-government organization for the project. However, investigating authorities found it did not undergo through proper procurement requirements, rendering Senator's use of his pork barrel fund questionable. Aside from Honasan, the Office of the Ombudsman also accused several officials of the NCMF and the said NGO of involvement in the anomalous transaction. It was on the 18th of September when the camp of Honasan filed an omnibus motion asking the anti-graft court to dismiss his case. But even before the arraignment today, the Sandigan Bayan 2nd Division denied his request. The pre-trial for the case of the senator is set on October 20th. Honasan is the 4th senator to face charges over the alleged misuse of the PDAF. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Cabinet Secretary Leoncio June Evasco defends the National Food Authority in pushing through with the government to private or G2P system of rice importation. Here's why from Ray Pelayo.
In the program Get It Straight with Daniel Razon, Cabinet Secretary June Evasco explained that the current system of rice importation imposed by the National Food Authority will prevent corruption in the agency. Evasco says, with government to private or G2P system, private importers will go through bidding process before the government proceeds with the importation. This is different from the previous system, which is government to government or G2G, wherein NFA's transaction is limited only to governments of exporting countries.
I cannot say outrightly na ito mayroong corruption, but such procurement mode is prone to corruption because it is a product of negotiation.
This year, NFA imported 250,000 metric tons of rice to increase its buffer stock in case of calamities. Evasco, meanwhile, trusts that NFA Administrator Jason Aquino can do his job well on the matter despite their differences. During the NFA Council meeting, Evasco agreed with G2P scheme but Aquino preferred G2G.
May nagsabi sa akin, kaya nyo lang daw hindi matanggal, malakas sa presidente.
Lahat naman talaga malakas sa presidente. You cannot be appointed, di ka malakas sa presidente.
Currently, Evasco is connected to 12 government agencies, including NFA, NIA, and the Philippine Coconut Authority. Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Malacanang vows to address the issues raised in the massive protest yesterday. Rosa Licos will tell us why.
Malacanang welcomes the peaceful result of the massive protest yesterday. Aside from burning the president's effigy, most of the concerns raised were deemed valid societal issues. Presidential spokesperson Ernesto Abella says it just shows that public discourse in the country has improved.
Most of the discourse was regarding people's issues, and most of it was not regarding personalities. So the focus of yesterday's rallies were a significant development, which sort of elevated the quality of public discourse in the country.
Malacanang also said that the government recognizes the grievances of the people, especially the sentiments against the anti-drug war. The administration has been studying on how to better implement the campaign.
There's already been investigations going on. These matters are being looked into. The administration is not just waiting, it's not just in a reactive mode. It's actually in a quite a proactive mode. It's a little bit slow, of course, considering they're dealing with the bureaucracies, but there is a healthy response to these matters.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Some labor groups believe that the recent wage increase is not enough to alleviate poverty in the country. Abby Santa Ines tells us why.
The 21 peso wage increase will formally take effect in the first week of October. But despite the wage hike, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or PCCI, and Employers Confederation of the Philippines, or ECOP, leader Ambassador Mr. Donald D. says government labor officials follow the wrong process in terms of increasing the salary of minimum wage earners.
The 21 peso increase was necessary, I agree, but it is a band-aid solution.
According to the said employers group, the government should pay attention to crafting measures to lower the cost of basic commodities, transportation, and other services. He argues labor officials should focus instead on lowering the expenses of employees like transportation fares and prices of their medical needs. He emphasizes that of 3 million workers, only 300,000 of them can benefit from the wage increase, while those getting a salary of above minimum will not be covered by the hike. But according to the Associated Labor Unions and Trade Union Congress of the Philippines spokesperson Alan Tanhusay, the 21 peso wage increase is not enough to cover the rising prices of the basic goods. The group asks the government to provide minimum wage workers with 500 pesos monthly cash voucher if it really wants to help. Abby Santa Ines, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Department of Education, or DepEd, has yet to begin the planned random drug testing in public schools across the country. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Education Secretary Leonor Briones says they have to present first the guidelines DepEd has set for the random drug testing in schools in the country before the other cabinet members, so they could provide suggestions and recommendations about the plan.
I will present the entire plan to the cabinet for their comments and for their advice.
Secretary Briones clarifies that the major goal of the drug testing is to determine how vast the problem on illegal drugs is and how can it be addressed. She vows that DepEd will not allow the random drug testing in schools to be used against any individual. DepEd admits receiving information about the use of illegal drugs of some students. However, Briones says they have to verify the information first and create ways on how to resolve the problem.
It's not going to be used as a basis for suspension, for expulsion, for prevention from graduation. It will not appear on the records of the child, on his academic record. There will be no such entry because that is not the purpose.
DepEd is currently coordinating with the Commission on Privacy of Information through USEC for Legal and Legislative Affairs, Albert Muyot, to ensure the protection of the privacy of the students who will undergo drug testing. Briones vows to hold liable and penalize anyone who would release information about the results of the drug test. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasay City.
The PNP Counterintelligence Task Force has arrested 2 rookie cops in an entrapment operation today. Monokson will tell us why.
A man was caught red-handed in a police operation yesterday accepting marked money. Operatives of the PNP Counterintelligence Task Force immediately arrested the man and his accomplice. The suspects were identified as PO1 Leomer Suarez and PO1 Alan Caballero. PO1 Suarez was recently reinstated. Meanwhile, PO1 Caballero is on the process of applying for his reinstatement.
Na-find out din natin na itong dalawang pulis is an AWOL status as of now. Based from records, si PO1 Suarez is AWOL sometime August 26, 2014 pa. Si PO1 Alan Caballero is AWOL since 2014, December 24, 2014.
The complainant approached CITF because the two cops threatened him, saying he would be charged of rape if he would not give them 200,000 pesos. He was accused by his lady boardmate, who claimed herself as a cousin of PO1 Suarez, asking the complainant to settle the crime financially.
Pagka-boardmate sila sa isang boarding house somewhere in Pasay also. Nagkaroon ng inuman daw, allegedly. Then after the inuman, ayun na yung nangyari daw yung ina-allege ng babae against sa complainant natin.
The complainant pleaded that he couldn't afford 200,000. The amount was reduced to 50,000 pesos, which he was asked to pay in installment at 10,000 a month. The two cops were charged for violation of Article 294 of the Revised Penal Code, Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, violation of Republic Act 6713, and grave coercion. The PNP is now investigating if the allegation of rape was true based on the accusations. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
Presidential spokesperson Ernesto Abella explained today that U.S. First Lady Melania Trump invited President Rodrigo Duterte's common-law wife, Hanilet Avancenia, to the U.S. Thus, she was spotted in New York City. The DFA, meanwhile, explained that though Avancenia was not part of the Philippines' official delegation to the UN General Assembly, she was invited to the side meetings as part of her advocacy works. President Duterte skipped the UN Assembly due to the ongoing crisis in Marawi City.
UNTV's documentary program Historia will be relaunched tomorrow afternoon, and according to its host, Ms. Angela Lagunsad, each episode is indeed worth watching. Abby Santa Ines tells us why.
The much-anticipated relaunch of UNTV's documentary program, Historia, is set to air tomorrow. It will feature the life stories of various individuals that reflect the different phases of society. Historia focuses on various subjects with an in-depth analysis.
Gusto ko talaga medyo may kurot sa puso. So there will be emotions that I want to touch. Like may maiiyak, may matatawa. Technical side naman, ang pwede kong maipagyabang, di ba? Maging proud tayo is that this relaunch ng Historia, it is more cinematic.
Ms. Lagunsad says the entire production team of the program exerted extreme effort in ensuring that each episode is worth to watch. Angela adds the program is close to her heart, as aside from being its host, she is the one who does the research and writing of the show as well. She also takes part in the editing and direction of the documentary. She has expressed her gratitude to those who entrusted her with the program.
Gusto natin magpasalamat sa UNTV, especially kay Kuya Daniel, kasi binigyan tayo ng pagkakataon na gawin itong istorya. At nagtiwala siya. So hopefully, we'll make him proud.
Historia will begin to air on UNTV tomorrow at 5 to 5:30 in the afternoon. Abby Santa Ines, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Coming up on Y News. North Korea hints of launching a hydrogen bomb test in the Pacific in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's UN speech.
And international rescue workers join Mexican authorities as they race against time to save survivors of the massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake.
More from Y News after this break. A stronger AFP Cavaliers is determined to win the games, all the games, in this season's UNTV Cup. Bernard Dadis will tell us why.
The AFP Cavaliers.
One of the strongest and seasoned teams on UNTV Cup is the AFP Cavaliers. From claiming the trophy at the off-season games, the Soldiers are even more high-spirited as the Armed Forces of the Philippines top brass is in full support of the Cavaliers, the Season 6 of the League of Public Servants. As the Cavaliers are set to face the GSIS Furies in the second game on Sunday, head coach Sally Manukat reveals their additional weapons.
Well, meron kaming dalawang bagong player, medyo bata, hopefully makatulong at in time mag-gel sa team. Pareho silang Air Force. In terms of playing skills, medyo advantage eh. So palagay ko yung mga experienced player namin mapapasabay na rin.
With the two additions, Romeo Almelor Jr. and Jerry Lumungsod, Coach Sani is confident his two-time champion side can hit the target again this season.
Siyempre, yung champion caliber, yung dalawang beses kami nag-champion, gusto namin ibalik yun. Actually, tingin ko ngayon malaki ang chance namin lalo kasi may dalawa kaming bagong players. But we'll just take it one game at a time and hopefully makuha namin ulit.
Watch out for the Cavaliers Furies battle on UNTV Cup emanating from the Pasig City Sports Center at 5 p.m. with live streaming via UNTVweb.com. Bernard Dadis, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
UNTV, Wish FM, and Radyo La Verdad personalities and programs joined the roster of winners for this year's Best Choice Awards. Leslie Longbowen is in Eastwood, Quezon City to tell us why live. Yes, Leslie, go ahead.
Yes, Darlene, individuals and companies that are on top of their own fields are gathered here at the Best Choice Awards 2017 here at Eastwood, Quezon City. Among the winners are programs, personalities of UNTV and Radyo La Verdad, as well as the FM station Wish 1075. Mr. Public Service Kuya Daniel Razon, UNTV CEO, will be awarded as Best Choice Achiever for TV and Public Service, while William Theo, one of UNTV Y News anchors, will be recognized as Best Choice Achiever for News and Public Service Broadcasting. Meanwhile, for Best Choice Companies and Brands, Serbisyong Kasangbahay, a program of Radyo La Verdad 1350, wins in the Public Service Program category, while Wish FM will be awarded as the most innovative and outstanding radio broadcasting production. According to Best Choice Awards Committee Chairman Wilfredo Lemke Jr., the awards aim not just to recognize these successful individuals and organizations, but also to inspire them to do more.
On tayo mga naging successful, succeeding on their own field, but basically hindi pa naman na-recognize. And we realize that it's good that if we go to the countryside, go to different regions in the Philippines para ma-recognize natin ito and inspire all these owners. And it's a matter of sharing also with everyone na, oy, successful na pala ako, meron na pala akong nagawa, meron na pala akong magagawa.
The awards night has just opened, and among those who officially opened the event are Radyo La Verdad 1350 station manager Annie Rentoy, Wish FM jocks Alice and Robin, and Y News anchor William Theo. This is the 4th annual Best Choice Awards, and the winners for tonight are carefully chosen by judges coming from Council of Companies working with businesses, marketing, research, and consumer ads. Darlene?
Thank you, Leslie Longbowen, reporting live from Eastwood, Quezon City.
And of course, since it's a weekend, we'd like to greet everyone a happy weekend.
Yes, happy weekend, Diego, and to our viewers.
And of course, Historia tomorrow at 5 p.m. on UNTV.
Yes, please watch Historia.
Stay home and watch.
Of course.
And those are the reasons behind the news. September 22, 2017, Amangelo Castro III.
Reasons we delivered to you as they unfold. I'm Darlene Basingan.
Because we need to know. We will always ask why. Thank you for watching
Y News.